We're in for a treat today. We're at the East India Company Grill and Bar, and I'm with Chef Pradeep. And not only do they have great food, they have great ways that they cook their food. So today we're going to learn how to make some mushrooms.
Grilled mushrooms.
Grilled mushrooms.
Grilled mushrooms.
So first thing we start with is the marinade.
We first start with the marinade. I use 5 greens, green chilies, spring onions, green bell pepper.
Green bell pepper. Is it all going to go in at one time?
Yeah, we'll do it one time.
All right.
Cilantro.
And then some mint.
And some fresh mint. And ginger.
Love that. And then we have some spices.
And I'm going to put some oil.
A little bit of oil, help it macerate up a little bit there.
Some lemon juice.
All right.
And then white pepper.
I love this.
This is our garam masala. We use our own, we make our own spices.
So you blend your own?
We blend our own garam masala. And a little bit of salt.
Seems like a pretty simple sauce.
Yeah, it is a very simple marinade. It's one of my simplest marinade. I don't use any garlic in this marinade.
So I know a lot of people, when they think about curry, they think about the yellow powder they see in the grocery store.
And I don't use any curry powder at all. The grocery store powder I don't even buy.
So people don't really understand Indian food as much as they need to. Okay,
Absolutely.
all right, let's keep going.
Absolutely. So I've got the marinade ready here. And I'm going to mix my mushrooms in it.
So that's how simple it is. We made a really nice sauce, marinade, and we're just going to add the mushrooms.
It's very simple marinade. It's one of my most simplest marinade. And I'm going to put these are whole white mushrooms, big size, giant size mushrooms.
Those are nice. And how long are we going to let those marinate?
We generally marinate for a day, overnight.
And then you got a special oven that we're going to be doing these in too, right?
And we are going to grill them in our special tandoor oven, charcoal fired tandoor oven. We marinate them, and what I do is we kind of after half a day or so we just stir it one more time.
Okay.
We give it a little stir so they get married nicely with the spices.
Okay, great. So we're just gonna let those marinate, and then we're gonna come back and get ready to put them in the oven.
Right.
So they're either ready to go to the oven. When you put it in, just tell us a little bit about the oven.
Now this will go into the oven, and we have a tandoor oven, which is charcoal fired oven.
Okay.
It runs between 500 to 800 degrees at any given time.
And that's hot.
And the most important thing about the tandoor oven is that it cooks inside out, quite contrary to the convection oven. Here the skewer gets hot first, and it starts cooking inside out, and then the heat from outside starts cooking outside in. And that keeps the tandoor, the mushrooms or the meat nice and juicy.
So it's really nice and even cooking.
Yeah, it is even cooking, and it's very juicy.
So tell us a little bit more about your restaurant and some of the other things that you feature here.
We started this restaurant 2.5 years ago in December of 2007. And I used to run high-end restaurants in Japan with the same owners. So our idea was to bring in a high-end Indian restaurant to Portland, and we decided to call it East India Company. Now, East India Company has a little bit of history, and it has a little bit of controversy. The basic thing about East India Company is that they were the first British company to bring Indian spices to the world.
Okay.
So we decided to call it East India Company so that we can bring good Indian food to Portland and Oregon State, you know.
Well, speaking of importing, you've been all over the place, and now you're in Portland.
Right,
so where all have you been?
Well, I started from Bombay. That's where I went to the hotel school and did my culinary education. And then I worked for a very popular restaurant called Gaylord's in Bombay for about 8 years, and then moved to Gaylord's in Japan. They already had a franchise in Japan. So I was running the restaurant in Japan for 15 years as a chef manager. I brought new ideas to them, changed their entire way of menu planning and doing things. And then I moved to the United States.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about Indian food, because again, I mean, people have misconceptions, and I think they think that maybe all the food's the same. You know, just a little bit about that.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's the same curry, the yellow curry powder they use. Actually, we don't use any curry powder at all.
None.
There are different kind of spices like cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, bay leaf. We use fresh spices like ginger, garlic, cilantro, mint. And we also use fenugreek. It's a dry fenugreek that I use a lot in my cooking. So what we do is we roast the spices, grind them ourselves, and then I also make my own spiced infused oil.
Oh, nice.
For my cooking, because a lot of people think that Indian food is very oily.
Right.
My cooking is very less oily. I use spice infused oil in my cooking, so which is half the oil of a normal oil, and then that brings flavors of the vegetables and the meats out.
That's good. Speaking of flavor, so these are going to be a couple more minutes, and then they'll be ready to eat?
A couple of minutes, and they'll be ready to eat.
All right. So, hot out of the Tandoor oven.
Right.
They look nice.
Hot out of the Tandoor oven, you can see the water dripping. That means the moisture is still there. It's nice and moist.
They didn't dry up.
They didn't dry up at all. I mean, they're completely moist.
And they're just about ready to taste. So do you squeeze a little lime on it, or lemon rather on it?
Some Indian guests like a little lime on it. So it's two ways. It's a good presentation, and some people like to squeeze a little lime on it.
Okay, may I try?
Absolutely.
Okay, well I'm going to try it without.
It's very hot.
Very
Be
hot,
careful.
okay. It is hot, but the seasoning is wonderful.
Right.
It's really good. Well, thanks for sharing this.
Absolutely.
I think that people need to really understand that Indian cooking isn't yellow curry that you buy at the grocery store. It's wonderful food, different meats, different vegetables, and a great cook. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.